even though he got hurt and even though his car was totaled. And there was nothing I could do for him because there was too little money and too many people needing the money because people and he did not have underinsurance. Now, had he had his underinsurance on his policy, I could have looked him in the eye and said, you're going to be made whole. I'm going to get you some money. I'm going to help you here. At least you're going to get a new car out of it. So that's the reason for underinsurance.
Yeah.
You'll never get more money than what insurance there is, and that's why you need to have underinsurance to protect you and your family. Therefore, that will be more insurance available if you're in a wreck, and some of you folks that are watching this program right now will be in a wreck. Wrecks happen, and they happen to innocent people all the time. As we're speaking, there's probably a wreck happening somewhere. Probably already happened. Okay, now let's go back to the computer because we need to talk a little bit about this. Okay, on the considerations. If a person has a small insurance limits, he usually has no personal assets. Now that's just the facts of life. So you're stuck with the insurance. Low insurance limits may mean no recovery for the injured person, which is the exact example I just gave you on the elderly gentleman that could not understand why he was going to lose money when this other person ran over him. Insurance limits will go to the medical bills or subrogation first before anybody gets any money out of it. Those medical bills or the people that have subrogation have to be paid back. Now, what do we mean? The limits may be low if it's an older vehicle. That's a pretty good sign. There's a drunk driver involved. Nobody wants to insure those guys. Younger owner or operators. Now, they may be higher if somebody's just bought them a new vehicle. They may have had sense enough to get some good insurance on it. Semi-trucks, coal trucks, they usually have pretty decent insurance. Or if it's a company vehicle, companies usually put fairly good limits on their vehicles they put on the road. The minimum in Kentucky is $25,000, $50,000, $10,000. $25,000 per person, $50,000 for everybody, $10,000 property damage. Or $60,000 combined single limits, which is the same thing. Now, the federal minimum insurance limits applies to semi-trucks hauling across the country, and they have to have $750,000 in minimum insurance.
I'm just guessing the reason this is because the larger the vehicle, the more the damage. Is that the reasoning behind it?
Well, when you look at a truck versus a car, you're looking at like maybe a 25 to 30 ratio in regard to the, in other words, you take 1 pound, if I take something 30 times larger than this and I hit it, what's going to happen? This is going to go flying, the 30 things are going to stand still. That's why you have to have more insurance on a larger vehicle if it's interstate. Now, Kentucky doesn't require that much on interstate vehicles, on the large vehicles within the state. Most coal trucks that I've found, most coal companies require coal trucks to have $1 million if they're going to haul from their job. So I think most of the time you'll find pretty decent insurance in regard to a coal truck. Before we go back to the computer, I think we probably need to take just a short break, and then we'll get back to settlements.
We will indeed. You're watching Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson. We'll have more information for you right after this. Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson. We'll be back in just a moment.
Choosing a college means choosing an education to last a lifetime.
Hey, my name is Corey, and I'm a sophomore here at Pikeville College. When I was trying to decide where I wanted to go to college, I wanted to go somewhere that would be close. Teachers are always in the office and always there to help you. It's just been a great fit for me so far.
I'm Brooke, and I'm a nursing student here at Pikeville College. This campus, everyone is so nice. It feels like family.
Pikeville College is changing our world one graduate at a time. We would like to include you.
Welcome back to Simply the Law. Gary, when you were going through all of the reasons there may be less money or less insurance, today with the recession going on, things being as tough as they are economy-wise, will more and more people be making the decision to have less insurance, trying to save that money on the month?
Most people are probably going in right now and saying, I want the cheapest I can possibly get. When they say that, they'll probably sign a waiver, even waiving the uninsured motorist coverage. Under no circumstances, even if you have to give something else up, don't do that. Because if an uninsured motorist hits you, you're ruined if you don't have uninsured motorist. Don't give up your PIP, your 10,000 no fault. You have to have that if you're in a wreck. Don't do it. Give something else up. I don't care. But do not give up your PIP. Don't sign it away. And don't sign away your underinsurance. Not just underinsurance, but your uninsured motorist. I guess you could live without the underinsurance if it come to it. But you can't make it without your PIP, the 10,000 no fault, and without your uninsured motorist. Do not give those up under any circumstance. If you have insurance, make sure those are on there. Just go sell some trinket or something. But it's critically important that you have those. Let's go back to the computer. I need to talk to you some more about what we're talking about today. Okay, what do we got now? Blue sky. Case value. How do you value your case if you're going to be settling it? The insurance company is likely to discount serious injuries. They will every time. And it's difficult to get the full value from your claim without a lawyer, especially if you're seriously hurt. There's no question about it. You're probably going to have to get you a lawyer. Many insurance companies use a computer program to value claims. The main one they use is a computer program called Colossus. It's crazy, but they do it. What do insurance companies consider when they're going to make you an offer, a settlement offer? Well, they look at the amount of medical bills, but they discount the bills from all the testing, such as MRIs and things like that, as being a one-time occurrence. So they don't put a lot of weight on testing in regard to the amount of money they're going to pay you for a settlement. Medications, they look to see what medications you're taking, what new medications are you taking now versus what you were taking before. The frequency of the visits to the doctor or physical therapy or chiropractor or whoever it may be that's treating you. It's one of the things they look at. That's all in this computer program, by the way. Loss of past income. You're going to need a doctor's statement and an off-work excuse, otherwise you need to be working. Future medical bills. These are determined by your treating doctor or an expert witness.
Well, I hate to interrupt you, but I got to ask a question there. How do you possibly put a value on future bills? Because if you go back 30 years with me, you know, future bills, there wasn't going to be any. Now there's quite a few. So how do you come up with that figure?
You have to take what the doctor says in their opinion as of your condition at the time on what is most probable. In other words, for you, Keith, 30 years ago, with your condition as it was right then, you probably over your lifetime may need an occasional pain pill, and you may need an occasional what they would call anti-inflammatory, such as ibuprofen or something like that. That's the amount of money you would be able to recover, is what would it cost for you to occasionally have a Flexeril or something anti-inflammatory, or occasionally have some sort of pain pills. It would be a very small amount of money. What the doctors can't say with medical probability, which is more likely than not, that your neck is going to ultimately fuse itself, that it's going to cause you to have a disc, that it's going to cause you to have surgery. Now that's happened to Keith from the wreck, but he's not got even back then, he could have never recovered for these consequences today. So generally how I deal with it with a jury is I say, look, my client didn't cause this wreck. There's a risk that he is facing in the future in regard to bad things that might happen. And I'm telling you straight up, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that the people that ought to be bearing that risk isn't